Okay, Civil War. Movie thoughts, review, analysis, kind of ish. Straight out the theater with this one, right? Just finished it. Um, right off the bat, the score, I like the score a lot. I like the movie. I liked it. It was, in the movie Discord group that I'm part of, someone mentioned that it didn't feel sort of politicized, right? Doesn't feel like a West, not a West, like a right or left divide. And I agree with them there. The way it plays out, it doesn't feel like it's right or left. There's like two different factions, if I'm not mistaken. There's Texas faction, and then there's the California faction. They're the Western Forces. I'm not sure if the Western Forces term is just California or if it's like encompassing Texas too, maybe. But it's yeah. So there's that happening. There's two forces there, and then they mentioned like there's also Florida too. That apparently Florida tried to like join like another, like there's gonna be three adversaries perhaps, apparently, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of funny. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. um this movie is, I guess, intense watch. I mean, it's violent, obviously, but it's we expect it to be. But they have some nice moments. They go to like this peace camp thing. Well, it's not really a peace camp. It's just a camp where like, people like where they, I guess they just need a place to sleep and stay, and they fly. And like you get the woman, the young girl, because she might not be much older than the other girl, right? She's looking at her. They're both looking at each other, right? When then, and that one scene where she keeps eye contact, when I guess she, she's looking at her because she recognizes that, she's a fellow youth. She's young like her, so she's looking at her. She's looking. They're both looking at each other, making eye contact. Nothing is said, but I guess it was sort of a moment of like, oh, you're young like me, and you're a press. You're part of the press. The ending of the film. So I like that they have the shot. It reminds me of the Kendrick Lamar album with the dead guy in front of the White House and all the guys. Because it's the Western Force soldiers, and it's the woman. The woman, she's the one that got to kill the president, right? And they're all there with his corpse, and they're smiling, they're posing for the picture, right? It's just sort of surreal. I like when the president guy, I think it's the dude from that Money movie. I forgot what it's called. The movie about the money, right? That he's oh my gosh, he's like a rich guy. I think it's the same actor if I'm not mistaken. And the president, like, cause oh my god, I don't even remember his name. The Hispanic guy from Florida, right? And kind of fitting, right? He's from Florida, but he even says to what's it called? The president, wait, like, because he said, wait, before you kill him, I want to talk to him real quick. And he asked him, can I get a quote, please? And I think the quote was either please have him kill me or please don't let him kill me. I mean, it probably was please don't let them kill me, because he even had his press secretary, I guess, that, I don't know, the speaker. It's the person that speaks for the president, right? That sets up the speaking meetings and stuff. I don't know really what their title is. They're important. And his gets killed. Like, she's talking to them and she's saying to them like, hey, the president, wants you to know that he's willing to have a surrender. He's willing to have this go down civilly, and if need be, if you can, can you guarantee my safe passage and not have me die? It's but he dies. And they're like, no, it's not happening. That cannot happen. They were not having any sort of concession whatsoever. His military had already given up by that point. We know that's established. When they got the Western Forces military camp, it's established that the I guess the United States government, or like the military of the United States government, had capitulated to the Western Forces demands or whatever. Like, they gave up. So like all the president has like some Secret Service, and they fought hard. The Secret Service guys that were there, they did their job. And then it was some other how do you call, I guess people, because like when they get to DC, you can see there's firing around, right? They're shooting around and stuff. So it's whoever else was there in DC and stuff. But yeah. The ending of it is cold. It's cold. The ending before, like, and it's a girl, it's a young girl that gets the shot, Jessie, that's her name. The way Jessie, because the older lady, oh my god, I forgot what her name was. You know, she comes out, Lee comes out, you know, because Jessie gets out, Jesse's like getting really ambitious here. You know, she's starting to lose that fear. She's really taking risk here, and she steps out, right? Where they're like yelling some code name or something, because they're about to go out and the Secret Service guys, right? There's still like maybe 2 or 3 that are still alive right before the president's office. They're still active right there, and so they're about to come out and, you know, start blasting shit, because they had just lost, they just killed 2 other ones, and we saw, like, in that shot, there's a hallway, we can see there's one over in the back part, so they're still, you know, they're still active Secret Service guys. And fucking oh my god, it's brutal, right? You know, obviously Lee comes in, she pushes Jessie to the ground, and Jessie has her camera and she snaps photos of her getting shot. And I like that it's kind of a callback to the scene of you know, when she tells her, they get out like a JCPenney outlet of a mall, and there's this helicopter, and, you know, Lee tells Jessie, come with me, go ahead and shoot pictures of this helicopter here. And, you know, she does that, where she takes pictures of the helicopter and whatnot. And fucking, and I think Jessie asked Lee, like, if I get shot, will you take my picture? Will you shoot it? Will you shoot me dead, my corpse? And, you know, she doesn't give I don't think she doesn't give an answer, but you feel like it's a yes. And I guess it is a yes, because she even shoots a shot of, oh my god, who was it? Who was it, actually? It was, there's a picture taken of her friend, Samuel, I think his name was. Sammy? Something like that. And so, another actor that I recognize from that guy. And she actually deletes the picture, too. And you can see by the end of the film, when they're in DC, she's, like, sort of out of it. Out of this, she was already kind of getting in, like, a funky donkey, like something was eating at her, and then by the time this rolls around and we're at this very pivotal high stakes moment, high stress moment, she's sort of out of it. She's not really there. And even the other guy, the Hispanic guy, even he seems like he's kind of out of it. You know, he's not really taking pictures. He's like kind of holding her, and he's leading her around, because he can see, like, you know, she needs me right now more than ever. And he's upset, obviously, because, like, you know, Lee dies, and it's all fucking because Lee came out to save Jesse's, and Jesse looks back at Lee, right, dead there, but it still feels sort of like cold, the way she looks back out towards Lee's body there on the ground, and she presses on. Before that moment, she gets up, she's like sitting, and fucking what's his name, the Hispanic guy, you know, grabs her by like that vest thing, puts her, like, you know, kind of like gives her a quick rough handling, you know, as sort of to say, like, yeah, I'm upset, because that was my fucking friend, and, like, holy shit, my friend's fucking dead, and it's, like, kind of because of you, asshole, that she's, like, fucking dead now, right? Oh gosh, it was intense. The movie was intense, I guess, sort of. But that one scene, I like it. It's sort of a callback, because, yeah, she, I guess she snapped her death. She didn't snap her corpse, necessarily, at least not on the ground, but, like, she did snap her getting shot and stuff. And so it's sort of a callback when she asked Lee, right, Jessie asked Lee, will you do the same, will you shoot it if I get shot, right, if I'm dead, will you shoot it? And she does, and but she does the opposite of her, right? It's she shoots her getting shot, and to me it almost looked like there was no thank you, I guess, kind of. I like this whole I like how it played out, right? She's not, at the beginning we can see that she was you know, she's new to this, so she's crying with the dead bodies and the carnage and all this, but then when it comes down to when it came to the forefront of, like, you know, everything that the past few days, and it's only been a few days, right? These past few days, how she said, I never felt more scared nor alive in my life, like both parts of it, right? Never more scared, but never more alive ever in my life, having go through these, like, traumas and stuff. High stakes moment. Jesse Plemons is in the film, and you see him in the trailer, right? So he plays, like, this I guess he's just a rogue, I don't know what soldier, he's a soldier, obviously, rogue soldier, I guess he just likes killing people. This character's kind of funny. He's got like these red glasses. Not sure what he's supposed to represent, but he's like, oh, you American? What kind of American are you? And then so they each tell their side. Like the guy said, I'm from Florida. Right? That's why you learn he's from Florida. Because obviously we hear his accent on him, right? So that's kind of fitting. Yeah, he's from Florida. And then the girl we learned from earlier, right? She's from Missouri. Her dad's out in Missouri. And he's, they like to say, oh, he's pretending like this isn't happening. And Lee said the same about her father or her family. Or maybe even her father. Something like that. Oh, like, they're doing the same thing. They're out in Colorado on a farm, rural area. They're pretending this isn't happening. There's a big, massive civil war happening in our country right now. It's, I like the interpretation of, like, civil war in the modern day in our country, how it will play out. Right, and there's like a lot of shots where like there's like vacancy in the street. There's nobody out about on the streets. There are crowds of people. They're gathered in certain areas, except for when they're in New York. People are out and about and stuff. And when we get the shot of like DC, entering DC, you can see cars driving here and there. So it looks like it's still a little bit active, right? At least in the outskirts, not in the initial core of the city, right? The government area, DC. Because that's where we get all the action scenes in the DC episode, right? And that was in like kind of the core of the city. It's what was I thinking of in my head? Thinking of Jesse fucking, yeah, how she, like, it was like cold, was it? It was cold, sort of, and Lee's dead, and it's like, wow, Lee's actually fucking dead. But it also can't leave us hanging, right? The money shot is like, we gotta see the president, right? And see, like, are they really gonna kill him? Like, just straight kill him? And then, yeah, they straight kill him. There's a funny scene where, like, we see the car. There's two Secret Servants SUVs, and then it's the limousine. I guess it's the president's car. I'm not sure who that woman was, but she's in the car. Secret Service. They immediately gun her down when they open the car. Boom, 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 boom. Her and the Secret Service guy. They immediately gunned them down. No mercy. These Western forces are brutal, right? But yeah, these they could have maybe stayed inside the building because they kind of died in vain, right? They're getting shot out and they're driving. It's kind of in vain that I don't know why. I guess they said, well, let's try to make a beeline for it. I don't want to die in the house. So they try to do the beeline, but it was just completely in vain. They immediately get stopped and shot up. Those are Secret Service guys that probably could have stayed in the house and like just fight them. Like, let's wait until they come to us and then we start boom, 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 right? It was sad how his press secretary, I think I mentioned it already, but it was sad how she died when she's talking to them. She's got her hands up and she was talking. I guess they just got sick of her talking. They're like, no, we're here to kill the president. Fuck you. You're in our way. We gotta, and they just kill her. But it was kind of sad. It was kind of sad when she died. I think kind of sad when she died. And I like I was just thinking about it too. Fucking, oh my god, and I just had it in my top of my head. The Secret Service guys come out and they get fucking blazed up. What else happened? What was I like thinking about? It was something related to that. With how they have it executed out and and Lee calls it when the limousine crashes. She's like, nah, the president ain't there. He's over. He's in the house. He's not in that car. Oh yeah, I remember now. It was the two people that committed suicide, right? There's two people. So immediately when they enter the house, there's this hallway, and then there's another room, kind of hallway space with a circle design on the floor, I think it was. I don't know. But we get the establishing shot from afar. There's two deceased individuals. And then when we get a shot flipped over from the other side, looking towards the entrance of the door, we can see there's two people that have committed suicide. A man and a woman. So that was interesting. I guess there are two government people that were in there, and you can see the writing on the wall. Do I want to get shot up, brutally shot up? Because everybody's getting brutally shot up. These Western Forces people, they're just shooting anybody, really. Anybody getting brutally shot the fuck up. Another sad scene was and you kind of see the writing on the wall when we get introduced to them. At first, we're scared, right? When we see this car speeding up, we're scared. We're thinking, oh shit, okay, these are like some adversaries. There'll be some drama on the road here. But then when the car catches up to them, we find out, and they even say, like, man, you scared the shit out of us, dude. Like, fuck, when you did that whole move and you're speeding up to us, you scared us to shit. It's these two, I don't know, the other guy's from Hong Kong, but the other dude, he's from Hong Kong, right? And Jesse kills the other guy. Oh, you know this guy? Boom, he kills him immediately. And when he's asking the American question, he looks towards him and he says, well, where are you from? You know, what kind of American are you? You speak English? He even said, you speak English? And he's like, yeah, I speak English. It's you know, he's obviously distraught. He's crying. He's scared. And he tells him, like, so where are you from? And he says, Hong Kong. I'm from Hong Kong. He's like, China. And Jesse Plemons' character says, China. And he shoots him immediately, right? He says, well, there you go. He's not American. He's from Hong Kong. He's from China, right? That was a tense moment. I like that the old man character, I forgot what his name was, Sammy. You know, Sammy's character, because she even tells him, like, we're going to go, all three of us, we're going to go up and we're going to confront these individuals because, and you got to stay behind because you're old and you can't run. You can't run. If we have a situation you got to run, you can't run with us. And so Sammy stays behind. And but Sammy got that truck. Sammy got the truck ready and he rammed that bitch and he hits the other two guys. We get the he hits Jimmy Fleming's character as this other dude that's like, you know, and I guess I don't know what they're doing. They have this pit where they're dumping bodies. There's a guy named Wyatt that's in the truck that he doesn't, it's very convenient. He doesn't come out of the truck until that incident happens. So I guess maybe he was stunned, shocked. But his shooting is the shooting that ultimately killed what's it called? Killed Sammy, right? When they're escaping, he shoots at the car. And Sammy says, hey, I gotta stop driving here for a minute. And it's because he's been shot. And I like that, you know, okay, so we move him to the back of the seat and then we continue driving. We don't just stop here on this road. No, we continue. And it makes sense we continue because there's nothing we can do. I like when the girl, Jessie, she vomits in the car after having gone through that very traumatizing experience. She just starts fucking puking. It's I like how it comes out too. It's just it's just fucking pouring out of her. I thought that was cool, right? She just pukes in the car. Just straight up just pukes. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that just happened. I just vomited. Fuck. That was intense, right? Because, yeah, she literally had her life on the line just a moment there. And Sammy even told him, I'm seeing the writing on the wall right here. You got to think if you want to save your life. Because I'm looking at the writing on the wall. They're going to kill her and that guy. They're going to kill them both. We can continue driving. We can leave. Or they got to kill them both. Because in the scene where when they car speeding up, right? And they catch up to them. We find out it's the journalist friends. The guy, maybe he's a little drunk or something. He takes a risk. He's like, oh no, I did this before. Don't worry. He went from one car to the other car. And I guess this guy, Jessie pumped. Because then she's like, oh fuck, I got to do that too. So then she goes from their car into the other guy's car. And he says like, oh, this guy drives crazy. He drives like a maniac. I need to drive with someone that's sane, right? And that's why he goes. And then when Jessie goes into the car, the guy's like, oh yeah, she's a way better fucking passenger right here. Better passenger. Thank you for the switch, right? He speeds off in the car. And there's a hill. He goes over the hill. And when they come over the hill, we don't see like who's over the hill. And so they're kind of panicking. They're like, fuck, when we need Jessie back, Jessie's got to come back to our car. I don't know why she did this fucking dumbass move. She goes to this fucking whatever the fuck's car. Like, we need her in our car. The fuck, right? It's kind of a tense moment, right? Some panic sets in that moment, in that very moment. And so yeah, it's a little you definitely feel it too. I definitely felt that tension, that panic set in when we're like, oh fuck, where is she? Where are they? You know, we don't really know this guy. And then she went in the car with this guy, and like, where, and you know, and like, how can they just disappear like that? And then they have a jump scare in that scene where there's this military truck that's driving. Very random. I like when we get these random little sort of encounters like this. Very random sort of encounter here with this military truck that's driving. And they almost spin off the road, almost crash, right? They kind of crash, but she gets, you know, she reverses that truck back and they get back on the street. But it's kind of sort of random, right? This just a random truck driving that's honking at her like, hey, I'm coming. It's there's another scene where they're driving in this urban area and there's just people on the side of the road. It looks like maybe it's a family, you know, just walking the side and they pass them by, no issues. I like that we get moments like that. There's the first kind of fight scene that we get, because we saw the shooting in the background, and the Hispanic guy says to Lee, "Hey, we're gonna go there tomorrow. We're gonna see what's happening over there." It's and then Jesse's over at the car. This, she's still new, right? She's still new, but he tells her like, "Hey, you can't go with us though. You gotta hang back." And obviously she's upset with this, and he like jokes with her like, "Hey, it actually, I was just, you should have seen the look in your face. Like, I'm just fucking with you. Of course you can come. You're an adult." Presumably she's an adult, right? And so to tell her that, hey, you can't come with us, it's kind of bullshit. Like, what do you fucking mean I can't go? Like, I'm an adult, bitch. Like, she's a young adult, though. You can see, right? She's obviously very young. She's probably maybe 18, 19, if anything, or she's just fresh out of high school. And that's why Lee in the beginning was hesitant about having her come along with the trip. But yeah, this is when they go to Pittsburgh, right? And the guy's shooting. I like that we had this guy in the column. He's like pinned down. He's like, "Hey, you gotta run. You gotta run." And so he runs. But like, you can see the writing on the wall. He's gonna get shot. And he does. And she has this shot where he's like trying to bandage him, kind of. But it's like to Vane. He's obviously gonna die. And I like how we have this scene where they're walking in the building. We hear this man screaming in anguish. And when they finally get to like where he is, he's just, there's his chair there. It's a bunch of blood. He's just there. And he's just in pain, writhing in pain. And they don't even give him a chance to speak. They just immediately shoot him. These guys don't have military uniforms either. These guys just have civilian clothing. So I'm not sure what type of faction they are or whatever. But and the gentleman that was trying to save the other guy that got shot, he's how do you call, he's like frantic and like panicked in the moment where he's trying to save that guy. And then the next shot, the Hispanic guy, right, is talking with him, and they're like laughing, joking, right? So it feels sort of surreal, right? We just had this moment of life and death, and now we're laughing and talking and joking. There's 3 dudes though in military uniform that get let out of the building, and Jesse's there. And Sammy's there too, and Sammy's watching as Jesse's taking photos, because they line them up. It's obviously they're gonna kill them. I thought maybe the 3 gentlemen were shooting at them from afar, but no, it's actually some guy on like some gun on a tourniquet, something like that. A tactical, yeah, like a gun on a tactical type thing. And he's laughing while he's doing it, and he's pumping them full of lead. And so there's people, right, that they're like, like Jesse Plemons' character, right? They like the violence. Even the dudes from the gas station were kind of iffy. And I like the detail when she says $300, and he's like, I can't buy you much. And she tells him Canadian, 300 Canadian dollars. And then he capitulates, and he says, well, actually, okay, we can give you the gas. Because she says half a tank of gas and 2 jerry cans. That's what we want from you. Fill that tank halfway, and we give you 2 jerry cans. How about that? $300. Right? And he says no, but when she hears it's Canadian dollars, oh, okay, well, we'll take it, ma'am. It's yeah, and there's this man. Obviously he's a young man, not as young as Jesse, but you can see he's a young man, that he follows her to the car wash because she saw something at the car wash, and it's 2, I thought they were dead, but no, they're still alive. And this is when Jesse first sees like kind of something very gruesome and horrid, right, for the first time, because you can see she's obviously visibly distraught about it. And the guy, it feels sort of a tense moment, yeah. But Lee goes there, and Lee starts talking, asking questions, and she said, "Let me take your picture." And he's like, "Yeah, between these 2, yeah, stand between them. Let's take a picture with you between them." And I think she even asked him, like, what side are you on? I don't think he answers that question. But he said, like, what side are you on? Just out of curiosity, like, where do you lean? Are you, like, the secession? Or are you with the government? It's, I like that's kind of, a different spin, too. And they feel, like, bipartisan, the journalists. Like, they're not really on a side. They're press, right? And that's why it says press on the band, which I had to get to, like, that scene, too. That was a cool scene as well. I'll get to it in a moment here, but it's how the secessionists won, right? They basically won this war, and whatever that entails from that, who knows, right? We don't know what it entails from that. I guess it's the government neutral territory. We learned that Greenland, which I guess for some reason Greenland gets mentioned, and Alaska, neutral territory, like Greenland and Alaska. Right, the president can be airlifted. Can he be taken there and be safe because it's neutral territory? I like the the scene, and it looks, you can see the writing on the wall. It's obviously like, it feels like it's a booby trap, right? There's a dead body in the street. It's a soldier or a man in military uniform, and there's a sleigh ride thing. There's like Christmas props and decorations and shit all around, and it feels sort of surreal. And there's like this golf course, country club looking at this fucking building in the distance. It said, watch out for flying golf balls, caution. And it's like, yeah, caution, golf balls, more like fucking pinpoint accuracy headshots, right? But I like when we you know, it feels like it's, and then Sammy even says, hey, there was a turnaround a couple miles, you know, it's probably a couple miles down that way. There's a turnaround. Why don't we just reverse back and we do that turnaround? Because this obviously looks sketchy as fuck. But the Hispanic guy said, well, let me just inch a little forward and see what happens, right? And obviously they get shot at. They park he drives the truck behind like this trailer thing to take cover, because, like, you know, and it's good that they do that, because there's actually two soldiers from God knows where, I don't know, they just got pinned down, like, and the soldier says, like, they're there, they're a sniper, they're even a sniper crew. One of them's got a sniper, the other one has like the special, I don't know what it is, it's like some scope thing, because I've never seen American Sniper, and the guy has this too. There's like, when there's two of them, one has the gun, but the other guy has this other device that's also used, right? And the dudes tell them, they said, you know, good on you for not driving away, because this guy is good. This guy, whoever the fuck's in that house, they're good. They're a good shot. He tells them, like, straight, like, you weren't gonna make it. I'm telling you. If you guys got out of the car and were running, you aren't gonna make it. This guy's a good shot, whoever that person is over there. And he tells them, you know, the Hispanic guy's asking him, like, well, who do you know, like, you know, like, what side are they on? What side are you on? Like, why are they shooting? And he says, like, you know, the guy's kind of annoyed. He's like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. The only thing I know in this moment, there's somebody in that house, and they want to kill me. That's it. And he looks over to Jesse, and he says, hey, you know what's happening right now? You know who's in that house? And as he said, are you a fucking idiot? Like, I'm talking to you, right? And Jesse tells, like, a man shooting. And he looks back at the Hispanic guy, the gentleman, and he said, you know, like, it doesn't say anything, but he gives him the look, like, that's what's happening right now. You asked me, like, who it is, how do you guys get here? We don't have any of that backstory. All we know is that there's two soldiers pinned down there, and they give him the run up. Hey, you know, good on you for not trying to outrun this guy, because you weren't going to outrun him. He's a good shot, and he's in the house. There's some guy in that house. They're a good shot. It's good on you for not fucking running. I like that they're kind of have like paint on their face. They look like they could be from The Purge too, the way they're kind of like paint up and stuff. And then you know, the scene doesn't last too long, and we get from the sniper, the guy, he takes a shot, and he looks up towards presumably Jesse, and he's like, I have good news. I have good news, right? So they killed whoever it was shooting at them. They killed them, so everybody was able to move on with their, and presumably nothing else happened. You know, these two soldiers said, oh, we're gonna move on with ourselves now. I guess you move on with yourself. They have moments like this in this film, right, where people just kind of, you keep to yourself and you mind your own business, right? I turn my lights on. It's that's probably maybe my favorite scene. I like how it played out. I like that he gets annoyed with him being asked questions, like, oh, what side is he on? Do you know why he's shooting? Like, why is he just shooting at people? Like, it's like, he's like, the only thing I know is that somebody wants to kill me. Somebody wants to kill us. That's what he said. Like, somebody wants to kill us. They're in that house. That's all that I fucking know. That's all that I know. You ask me these questions, I don't know that shit. There's somebody over there that want to kill me. So now I'm stuck here, and we're stuck. And that's what he said. We're both stuck, because we're not leaving until we kill you. And you're probably not leaving whatever you're at until you kill us. He even says that. All he knows is that we're trying to kill each other. We're both stuck right now. We're in a standstill, and it's not going to end until one of us fucking kills the other one. But like the sniper said, right? He takes the shot and he says, I have good news. Whoever it was, I fucking killed him. It's there's some beautiful like cinematography shots. I like the shots of the vacant roads, the vacant streets, of the big billboard signs in the distance, and the empty highways, right? And then the highways littered with cars too, that as well. Yeah, there's some nice shots of that in this film of the American urban environment, how it's built for cars, right, and then how we navigate around it. Another thing with Sammy's when they're driving on like this road, right, and then we see the from an aerial shot of this forest fire happening from somehow, right, just fire in the forest, and they're driving through it on the road, this fiery forest. It's kind of very common. The music sets a nice tone. Sammy puts his hand out and he's like gliding it through the amber. I guess this is before he dies, because when they reach the Western Force military base, he's already dead, and they even bring a little coffin for him, to put his body in. And we see Lee later afterwards trying to clean the blood from the can. I think they just leave the car at that point. They leave the vehicle there. It's oh my god, I even remember the scene back to the golf course kind of scene where we said we have press written on our vehicle, like we're press, we're not any type of faction, we're neutral, right? That's what he says, like we're press, can we just pass through, like we're press, we're not trying to be mean to anybody. And the guy, he's annoyed, and he makes a snarky remark, oh, I was wondering why I said that on your vehicle. That makes sense now, right? You're the fucking press, no wonder, that's why you have it said on there. Well, this guy doesn't give a shit who you are, he's treating it to everybody. Sorry, honey. But that was probably maybe the best kind of calming scene, I guess. It was a nice sort of transition, nice filler scene, where Sammy, he puts his hand out in the ambers. It's nice how it looks with the fire. We get these nice shots of like certain trees, like one tree in particular burning, and there's like little fires all around. There's ambers, hot ambers everywhere, flying all over the place. It really sets a nice, like, kind of magical tone, and the music helps too. Like, it really sets like the image and the vibe for this scene that we're seeing with this film. I'm trying to think anything else that stuck out to me in this movie. I guess we have these establishing shots of like of just like the wreckage around the country, right? War zone sort of shots. And some of them, I like that we don't hold back on corpses, right? We got a shot of somebody's corpse, like they look like their heads blown off, and they're just landing. They're like the only corpse around too. There's the only body around a sea of rubble. It's I like that we got kind of establishing shots like that of rubble, and then we also get some bodies. We get some unfortunately we get some deceased individuals that are just kind of lounged about dead here and there. It's because it sets the tone, right? This is a war. There's a war happening right now. We get a roadblock when they're first driving through. We have a roadblock with some soldiers, and they check the IDs, and then they let you through, right? Right, things are the ease of travel isn't all there. They have to do like a loop basically, and they go down to Charlottesville first, South Carolina, or North Carolina, Charlottesville somewhere. They go to some Charlottesville, and then they loop up towards DC afterwards, right? And Sammy tells them, right, when they're in the hotel, he tells them, the reason being is because, how do you call, the highways leading up, you can't even get to Philly. He said you can't even get into Philadelphia. The highways around there are completely fucked up. And then, because obviously from New York to DC, it's a pretty direct route, right? And so, but he's like, no, you can't take that road anymore. You have to go around basically in a loop because it's completely wrecked. You have to go through Pennsylvania towards Pittsburgh, and then go, to maneuver into West Virginia, through Virginia, and then kind of, like he said, you have to loop around basically now. It's how do you call it? They want to get to DC. People want to get to DC because they're the press, and they work for the obviously the media. They want to get the money shots. They want to get the groundbreaking stories. When they meet two of their colleagues, I don't know if they're their colleagues necessarily, but they're two other press people. One of them's a Brit, right? It's a duo. It's a man-woman duo. One is a Brit. And when they meet them, that's when they get the news about the surrender, how the government had surrendered, that the secession forces are winning. Basically, they have already won. It's just a matter of securing the victory or getting to the president. Because at this point, actually, at that point, they already won, actually. Because he said they surrendered. It's just now you go to D.C., there's not going to be this big resistance anymore. It's whoever's still aligned with the president, who's still aligned with the old government, I guess. And, and like they said, he's got his Secret Service with him. And then whoever the fuck's around the city that's like, I guess we're going to fight for you, Mr. President. We're going to hold one last stand. I like when the helicopter comes in and low into the this area, and we can see one of the guys. She's like in the parking lot. She's like running away right before the helicopter shoots a missile there, and it shoots like the gun, because they're like pinned down shooting at this like kind of street corner, and how do you call what I think, this helicopter comes down low and just fucking boom 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 boom. Okay, there we go. We cleared out this, got that out of the way. Let's continue. Let's move on next, right? God, this movie is action packed, huh? I liked it. I like that it has these somber moments. I really like my favorite shot of the film. Maybe that last ending shot where it's like it reminds you of Kendrick Lamar's album, and the aerial shot at the forest fire. There's some shots in the film that I really like. There's some scenes, and I guess my two favorites would have to be the driving through the embers, the fire, and the woods scene. That last scene I really enjoyed, as well as the how do you call oh my gosh, what was it? The golf ball scene with the two soldiers pinned down, and he's like, "You idiot! Like, I just told you, I don't know what's happening. Like you're asking me what's happening. Let me tell you, this guy wants to kill us. We need to kill him because he wants to kill us. We're blocked. We're stuck here. We're literally stuck here until somebody dies." And you know what? I would say throw a third scene in, because I like how cold it really struck me. It felt so cold the way, Lee gave her life for Jesse. She dies in that moment. The Hispanic, he's obviously upset, and he grabs her by the vest, almost like, I guess, to tell her like, stay here, like don't move. You've done enough. But Jessie gets up. She looks back at Lee, and she has kind of the stoic face on her. It's not really much. She's not mourning. Obviously, she didn't know this woman from hell. They only been with each other for a couple days, but it feels cold. It feels sort of hurts, right? It just felt like, wow, that was brutal, right? And then she gets up, she walks over, and she takes a picture. I think it's her looking through the camera when they're all looking at her, and then when it snaps, that's when she took a picture. So she didn't take a picture of the initial when they shoot him or something. It was only when everybody's looking at her, boom, that she takes a picture. And then we got a cut off of her face, and it's just all stoic, and I guess stoic's the right word. I don't know. We just get a shot of like their faces through our camera, and then we get a shot of her face when she's just standing there, and she's just standing there. I'm not sure what she does after this. I mean, I got a Hispanic guy wouldn't want to be with her anymore. I mean, it's over now. The journey is over now. 2 people are dead from the group. What happens now? Who knows? What happens after this? This kind of whole very dramatic and very like drama-inducing moment, right? So yeah, 3 favorite shots there. I'm curious to see analysis. That's definitely something I'm gonna look forward to, watching film analysis of this movie, because I liked it. I liked it a lot. I remember somebody saying the trailers in the movie Discord that the trailers like they felt like the trailers are misleading. They kind of misled it a bit. The film wasn't what it was. I'm curious if other people feel the same way. They thought maybe it was a little bit more action-packed, intense. I guess they say it has some drama in it, right? It's they're worried for the girl. She's young. They're worried for her, but at the same time, I guess it's kind of maybe a play on like a young adult and like kind of venturing into the adult world where there are people, the adults that are already there and they're older than you. They see you as a kid, so they want to baby you, right? Kind of thing. I mean, there's sort of that dynamic in the film, right? It's yeah, this movie is intense. I was thinking something in my head just now. I'm trying to capture it here in my head before I forget, before I end this video. The rating for this film, 5 stars. I liked it a lot. I had no gripes with it. I enjoyed it. It's a sit through for the film. It kept me entertained. I really love the score. I'm gonna have to look up the score afterwards. But there was something left that I wanted to say that I'm trying to think in my head here real quick. So this video is already really long. It's 39. It's about to be 40 minutes probably. What is it? Hispanic guy, Florida. That scene, driving through. Her dad writes in Missouri. I can't quite remember at the moment. Maybe I'll put it in the description if I remember what it was that I wanted to say. about her watch. I like when she wears her watch. How it's her watch is how do you call? It's not like fixed like to the front. It's kind of loose feeling because like when you see in the shot when she's taking the picture of the helicopter, it's kind of down to the side. I like that little detail, and I like the split of their cameras. When Lee takes pictures, they're colored, they're in color, and when Jesse takes photos, when she takes pictures, they're black and white. I like that detail. That was a really cool detail, and I caught it early on. It was how they established that. We established these are her photos, and then these photos, these are the opposite, right? And that's how we're going to distinguish who's taking what photo at the moment. Yeah, that's it, I guess. There was something that I had in my mind, a little tidbit more that I wanted to say about the film that I just can't quite remember at the moment. Jesse's cold, I guess, sort of. I don't know. That's the part that really struck me, right? How it played out. But I like that it played out that way, because at the end she was a stranger to her. She didn't know her. She didn't grow up with this woman, and it just felt sort of surreal in that moment. That moment where she died. She gets up. She looks at her and she continues walking. She goes into that room. She sees the president there. She watches him die, and she takes a shot of it. She takes a picture. Yeah, it was like surreal. Civil War thoughts, review, rating, analysis, I guess. I don't know. Thank you for watching.